The arrival of the Jews. By the late 1800s, Jews began trickling into Palestine as the Zionist movement gained momentum. Immigration increased dramatically, however, prior to World War I, as Jewish settlements began popping up all around Palestine. It's during the Great War that a letter known as the Balfour Declaration is written. The letter, signed by British Foreign Secretary Arthur James Balfour, tells of Britain's willingness to help the Zionists establish a Jewish state in Palestine, a region previously promised to the Arabs. Following World War I, with Britain's control of Palestine, Jewish immigration increased. By the start of World War II, Jews made up 30% of Palestine's population, a dramatic rise from just 7% 25 years before. After World War II and the Holocaust, in which 6 million Jews were executed by the Nazis, the Zionist dream of a Jewish state began looking like a reality. Tempers began to flare between Palestinians and Jews, and the struggle for land heated up. The mistreatment of the Palestinians was an obvious concern, but after the Holocaust, no one could deny the Jews the hope they had for a free, safe future. By 1947, Britain realized that the conflict between the Jews and Palestinians was spiraling out of control. Unsure as to how to solve the problem, Britain turned to the United Nations for a solution. With Jews making up almost 50% of Palestine's population by the late 1940s, the United Nations voted in favor of creating 2 states in Palestine, one Jewish and one Arab. Arab leaders rejected the plan, but the resolution was passed. On May 14, 1948, Britain withdrew from Palestine. The next day, the Jewish community in Palestine published a Declaration of Independence, announcing the creation of a State of Israel. On the same day that Palestinian Jews declared their independence, 5 Arab armies marched into Palestine. The fighting was short-lived and disastrous for the Arab armies. The size of Israel increased, the size of Palestine decreased, and most importantly, Israel became the dominant military force in the Middle East. Prior to the war of 1948-1949, Israel occupied the territory shaded in blue. After the war, however, Israel controlled the territory shaded in blue, as well as the Palestinian territories shaded in pink. All that was left for the Arabs was a strip of land called Gaza and a portion of the West Bank. By the 1950s, Israeli Jews outnumbered Arab Palestinians. Israel had developed into a powerful, wealthy nation, building settlements throughout the region to limit the movement of the Palestinians. Then, in 1967, Israel launched surprise airstrikes against Arab forces. The 6-day war started on June 5th and was over by June 10th. Israel captured the Gaza Strip and the Sinai Peninsula from Egypt, the West Bank and East Jerusalem from Jordan, and the Golan Heights from Syria. In the decades to follow, agreements were made between Israel and their Arab neighbors. Israel returned the Sinai Peninsula and Gaza Strip to Egypt, removing Jewish settlements. The West Bank was handed back over to the Arabs, but is still home to many Jewish neighborhoods. And today, Israel still maintains control of the Golan Heights and East Jerusalem. Conflict, however, still surrounds Palestinian territories today. While the Gaza Strip is considered to be under Arab rule, Israel controls Gaza's airspace and territorial waters, allowing goods to move in and out of Gaza by land only. Israel also controls the borders between Gaza and Israel. Because of these restrictions, many people consider the Gaza Strip to be an occupied territory of Israel. Due to the number of Jewish settlements and Israeli military presence, the West Bank is also considered to be an occupied territory. Many areas of the West Bank are closed off to Palestinian settlement, and walls have been and continue to be constructed to prevent Palestinian settlement outside of the approved areas.